Hi class, today we're going to read Magic Treehouse Midnight on the Moon by Mary Pope Osborne. So let's sing our song. Jack and Nanny, Jack and Nanny, Jack and Nanny, Jack and Nanny, and their adventures. All right, let's get into it. There's Jack and Nanny in the treehouse. All right. One summer day in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania, a mysterious treehouse appeared in the woods. 8-year-old Jack and his 7-year-old sister, Annie, climbed into the treehouse. The treehouse was filled with books, and it was magic. It could go to any place that was in a book. All Jack and Annie had to do was point to a picture and wish to go there. They visited dinosaurs, knights, an Egyptian queen, pirates, ninjas, and the Amazon rainforest. Along the way, they discovered that the treehouse belonged to Morgan Le Fay. Morgan was a magical library from the time of King Arthur. She traveled through time and space, gathering books for her library. One day, Jack and Annie found a note that said Morgan was under a spell. Jack and Annie set out in the magic treehouse to find 4 special things that would free her. With the help of a mouse named Peanut, Jack and Annie found the first thing in old Japan, the second in the Amazon rainforest, and the third in the Ice Age. Now Jack, Annie, and Peanut are ready to find the last thing in Midnight on the Moon. Chapter 1 by Moonlight. Jack, whispered a voice. Jack opened his eyes. He saw a figure in the moonlight. Wake up, get dressed. It was his sister, Annie. She turned on his lamp. He rubbed his eyes. Annie was standing beside his bed. She wore jeans and a sweatshirt. Let's go to the treehouse, she said. What time is it? Asked Jack. He put on his glasses. Don't look at your clock, said Annie. Jack looked at his clock. Oh, man, he said. It's midnight. It's too dark. No, it isn't. The moon makes it bright enough to see, said Annie. Wait till morning, said Jack. No, now, said Annie. We have to find the 4th M thing. I have a feeling that the full moon might help us. That's nuts, said Jack. I want to sleep. You can sleep when we come back home, said Annie. No time will have passed, Jack sighed. Oh, brother, he said. But he got out of bed. Yay, whispered Annie. Meet you at the back door. She tiptoed out of Jack's room. Jack yawned. He pulled on his jeans and his sneakers and a sweatshirt. He put his notebook and pencil into his backpack. Then he crept down the stairs. Annie opened the back door. Quietly, they stepped outside. Wait, said Jack. We need a flashlight. No, we don't. I told you the moon will light our way, said Annie, and she took off. Jack sighed, then followed her. Annie was right, thought Jack. The moon was so bright that he could see his shadow. Everything seemed washed with silver. Soon they left their street. Annie led the way into the Frog Creek woods. It was much darker under the shadows of the trees. Jack looked up, searching for the treehouse. There, said Annie. The magic treehouse was shining in the moonlight. Annie grabbed the rope ladder and started climbing up. Carefully, go slowly, said Jack. He followed her up the ladder and into the treehouse. Moonlight streamed through the window. It shone on the letter M that shimmered on the wooden floor. It shone on the 3 M things that rested on the M. A moonstone from the time of the ninjas, a mango from the Amazon rainforest, and a mammoth bone from the Ice Age. We need just 1 more M thing, said Annie, to free Morgan from her spell. Squeak! Peanut! Said Annie. In the dim light, Jack saw a tiny mouse. She sat on an open book. You didn't expect to see us this late, did you? Said Annie. She picked up Peanut, and Jack picked up the open book. So, where are we going this time? Annie asked him. Jack held the book up to the moonlight. Uh-oh, he said. I knew we should have brought a flashlight. I can't read a thing. He could make out diagrams and shadowy pictures, but he couldn't read a word. Look at the cover, said Annie. The letters were bigger on the cover. Jack squinted at them. It's called Hello Moon, he said. Annie gasped. We're going to the moon? Of course not, said Jack. It's impossible to go to the moon without tons of equipment. Why? There's no air. We couldn't breathe. Not only that, we'd boil to death if it was day and freeze to death if it was night. Yikes, said Annie. So where do you think we are going? Maybe a place where people train to be astronauts, said Jack. That sounds neat, said Annie. Yeah, said Jack. He always wanted to meet astronauts and space scientists. So, say the wish, said Annie. Jack opened the book. He pointed to a picture of a dome-shaped structure. I wish we could go there, he said. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster and faster. Then everything was silent. Absolutely silent. As quiet and still as silence could be. Okay, that's the end of chapter 1. So what we're going to do now is go to the notebook. See if I could get this right. And we're going to write a sentence. So the sentence we'll write today is Jack and Annie found a moon book. Jack and Annie found a moon book. So grab your paper and your pencil. If you need to pause. And we'll write together. Here we go. Jack. Oh, let me get a pencil. Jack and Annie found a moon book. Period. All right. Jack. J. We're going to do uppercase J because it's a name, and we also start sentences with uppercase letters. J, A, K, C-K. Jack and. And is our sight word, but we can sound it out. N, D. Jack and Annie. Annie's a name, so she gets an uppercase A. And Annie, A-N-N-I-E. Jack and Annie found ow. O-U makes ow. Found. Jack and Annie found a, just a, moon. M-oo-n. M. Ooh. 2 O's. M-oo-n. N. Jack and Annie found a moon book. B-ook. Ook is a word pattern. B, like baby, make sure the belly's in the front. Ook. O-O-K makes ook. So now I want you to write a sentence at home about something else from chapter 1.